So I'm going to talk about how to attract the best talent. Now, there is a lot of different facets to this. It isn't quite simply a one fixed solution. There's many touch points. Now, we live in a world now where everybody has a world of information at their fingertips. And if we look at the younger generation coming through now, which I appreciate there's going to be a lot more seasoned lawyers out there, going, look, what's going on with the world? People are much more value driven. They're much more purpose driven. And the younger generation coming through now, we are finding reports have been done. There's lots of information out there, are being driven by their values. And as such, the first thing I want to talk about in terms of how to attract the best talent is looking at the employer brand, because people are bothered about where they work. Years ago, if we go back again in time, 15, 20 years, it'd be quite simply a law firm would put an advert out in the Law Gazette, they'd get a pile of CVs and there'd be people queuing at the door. The world is very different now, and in legal recruitment especially, there is a shortage of talent. Not necessarily at graduate level, not necessarily at NQ level, but even still at NQ level, there is a shortage of talent. That's being driven by the fact that firms are retaining their NQs more than ever before. Without going on too much of a tangent, when I first entered this industry just over a decade ago, there'd be 2 times of the year where we'd be absolutely manic with NQ jobs. It would be candidates flying around from here to there, offers coming out, and it would be a mad rush. And that used to be in March and September, if I recall correctly. However, that doesn't exist anymore. NQs are coming to the market at all times of the year. Firms are putting much more emphasis on retaining talent, which quite simply makes sense. I could never really understand it myself back years ago, when a law firm would train someone for 2 years, put all that investment and time into that person, and then that person would leave to go to another law firm. I do think the legal industry in a lot of ways is very behind. It was very behind compared to other industries, but it's catching up. So the first thing you need to look at is your employer brand. If you're watching this as an SME-sized firm, you need to bear in mind that you don't probably have the budget, well, you definitely don't compared to larger firms. Larger firms will have big teams specialising in everything from branding to recruitment to strategy. If you are a mid-sized firm, and I want to do this video mainly for SME-sized firms and regional firms, because I think that the bigger firms have massive budgets for this kind of thing, and I'm very passionate about helping SME-sized firms. So the first thing you need to look at is your employer brand. Now, what do I mean by an employer brand? Firstly, I mean that your website is not just a landing page for clients. It is a landing page for potential employees. It is your shop front. You could have the fanciest angle office in all of London, but if your website doesn't look like that and it's not reflective of you as a company, is it reflective of the team ethos? Is it reflective of the work and the quality? Is that shop front reflective of you as a brand? Now, if it's reflective of you as a brand and you're not happy with the brand, then it needs to be changed, because a lot of firms struggle to recruit people. And the reason they do is because candidates are looking more than ever online at potential firms. Candidates will look at reviews, they will look at Google reviews, they will look at the brand. People will put a lot of research into their potential employer. And when you're looking at your brand as a whole, it isn't a wave a magic wand and it's fixed solution. It does require strategy, and it really takes time. Sometimes it's a case that you need to get a specialist in to really look at your brand. And it might be the fact that you've had the same brand for a long time and it needs a facelift. Is it reflective of you in the modern day right now?